disgraceful scenes overnight. One of the darkest days in a proud cricketing nation's list of achievements. Shocking display. Shocking. Welcome back to the Hong Kong Cricketer, brought to you by ACO, India's tech first insurance company. We're sort of piecing things together here, Pez, aren't we? We're just sort of reconciling what has happened. Sure, Zimbabwe are about to beat Australia, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about Hong Kong being bowled out for 38 in a pitiful display. Sure, they're not professional cricketers. Sure, they're playing against a very, very good international team. Sure, but I don't care. When you're in Sharjah, you got to use your feet to the spinners. You just got to get down to it. You just got to get to it on the full. Why didn't they think of that, Sam Perry?
And on top of that, sure, Hong Kong have a wicketkeeper that appears to be over on, some kind of secondment, with HSBC or something, and sort of captain coaches, and might have played twos and threes.
Yeah.
At a grade club, sort of helping everyone with the field settings, etc.
He actually plays inside setter for Hong Kong Rugby Club. And they got to qualify for the World Cup, so he's got a bit on.
He's quite a good player, and we doff my cap and show our respect, just as a way of kind of taking away what I just said. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you and I are at sixes and sevens here, aren't we, Higgins? And that's not just where we batted in threes. I mean, this is what you do when an inexplicable result takes place. You're trying to piece things together immediately after, chaos and a crisis. You've only just got information and news coming in. I don't know if heads will roll in Hong Kong cricket as a result of this. Yeah. As a result of this, I've used the word result, so I'm going to use it again. But, what we're looking at is it's a record victory for Pakistan. It's a 155-run win, and on the positive side, on the affirmative, he goes, this record win, I believe, will send shockwaves through Asia and to a lesser extent the Pan-Pacific. And I have to say again in the affirmative, I love me an irrepressible Pakistan. I do love me an irrepressible Pakistan. And I only have a small few things in my little portfolio that I love: my children, my wife, family to a lesser extent, and an irrepressible Pakistan. I've always said that.
That's the top four big boys in Sam Perry's life. Now, okay, we'll get into it in a second, but what Hong Kong wouldn't have given for a couple of sixes or sevens. Their scorecard reads like a fucking phone number. But let's get into the first thing, Pez. And, some people might want to celebrate Pakistan's wonderful achievements in this game, record win, blokes getting runs. But I want to focus, like Wasim Akram, who I do identify with in a number of different ways, that RIZWAN batted too slowly. What the fuck is he doing? What the fuck's RIZWAN doing up the top there? 78 of 57, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, that's good. But, mate, Wasim Akram, I think it's fair to say that he was seething afterwards. Seething.
And it's a new identity category. You said you identify as a Wasim Akram.
As a Wasim Akram, yes.
And we are understanding more about the variety of identities people can have, correctly so. And you're sort of adding a Wasim Akram to that.
A Wasim Akram.
Yeah, you're signing up for a new bank account.
I don't identify as Wasim Akram. I identify as a Wasim Akram.
That's right. It says gender, male, female, other, prefer not to say Wasim Akram.
Yeah, that's right. And I and Wasim were very upset at the pace of which...
You keep trying to talk about the cricket. I don't know why you're doing this.
No interest. He was saying that what's the point of RIZWAN finishing not out at the end? Just fucking tee off every ball. I think for RIZWAN, job done. Red ink, 78. Feels good. 6 fours, 1 6. But hitting at 136. But that's a negative in an otherwise impressive result. So let's focus on that.
So, 78 red. As they used to say, just 78 red, front stool. And there were some positives. He took his lid off about 12, 13 overs in, and fuck me, it's a good looking lid. A couple of good looking boys going through Pakistan as well. Once again, steering away from the cricket here. Shadab Khan, wonderful smile. Talk about that later. Hey, the flip side is, and I saw some to Wazim's criticism, and I will defer to Wazim, but in case people are worrying, like should I listen to Sam Perry or Wazim Akram? Yeah, I defer to Wazim, but
sure.
There was a bit of journalism overnight suggesting that that Pakistan's top three have been sort of ball gluttons. And the middle order guys aren't getting a lot of opportunity to show their wares, as it were. Pakistan have only played 3 T20Is this year. It's their first win this year, Pakistan. Again, celebrating on the streets. But, like Rizwan takes up a lot of balls. But I don't know, like if you look at it through this game, they're in Sharjah. It was a slow wicket early. And Rizwan and Fakhar Zaman just were setting a foundation, like they were giving their children an opportunity for a better life, like with gritty, hard work in systematically disadvantaged circumstances, aka a slow wicket, and so I respect Rizwan for doing that. It was harder batting than what his children had to face when they came in and ultimately absolutely destroyed Hong Kong. So I think Rizwan's a pretty good player. Happy for him to carry on as he is.
Yeah, and Kushtil Shah benefited by going to private school later, hitting 4 sixes in the last
through
over.
The good work of Fakhar Zaman and Rizwan.
Good work. That's right. Grit and determination in a trade.
When you're like, if you put yourself in the shoes of Hong Kong, everyone's been.
Yeah, I often do.
Everyone's been that's right. Yeah, everyone's been the shit side in a game of cricket where you're like the other team is better, and like you, especially when you bowl first, you're kind of relieved because you're not going to get embarrassed. So you're not going to get like the game's not going to be over by 1 p.m. or some shit. If it was a sort of a 10 a.m. start, different sessions and stuff. So they bat and like your bowlers come on, they're slower than your bowlers are slower than their bowlers, but you're bowling disciplined enough. And like the scoreboard generally looks like it's a game of cricket that is even. But really, like the damn walls are going to break, aren't they, at some point? Like you can build those walls all you like. You can sandbag that. You can use riprap, to help stop the dam breaking. But eventually the dam walls break and it's just, get the fuck out of there. Deluxe. And I thought that's what happened in this game, like Rizwan and Zaman, as we said, worked hard, hardworking parents, migrants, came over, gave their children a foundation, and then Kushtil came in. He looks like he's just come out of the fucking MMA ring, big old boy, big old shoulders, and he facilitated the breaking of that damn wall.
Hong Kong had a go in the second innings for a little bit, sort of 10 overs, 10 and a half overs. They made 38. 10 was a top score. That was extras. Xavier Traz, 8 wides, 2 leg byes. They started off nicely, I thought. None for 16 off 1.3, and then lost 10 for 22, which we know can happen in Sharjah. It can happen. It can happen. You can lose 10 for 22 in sort of 8, 9 overs. That often does happen. Of a Saturday afternoon or whatever day that was. Nezkat Khan, the captain, top scored with 8, so that's sort of his team talk sorted going into the sheds afterwards.
I just saw as I watched every ball, stayed up for this one, stayed for all of them. But was he having throwdowns in between innings? I just saw some footage. I couldn't quite work out if it was overlay footage from previous games, but. Right. If anyone who was there at Sharjah then comes home and sort of watches this the next day, was Nezkat having throwdowns in between innings? Okay. I just need to know that. I do think that changes the dimension of the Asia Cup more generally. And to your point, he goes 16 for none for 16, whatever they call it. That sort of stuff is the anatomy of a shellacking as well. Like the whole dressing room knows that the ship's about to sink, and none for 16 is not reflective of what's about to happen. There's just general fright in the change rooms, and then you had Shadab Khan, the Hobart Hurricanes Shadab Khan, I should say. A friend of Ricky Ponting's, bowling his Bozan Kets, his Bozies, and he's taking wickets, and Babar's slapping him on the back of the head. This is Babar Azam. 9 off 8, and Is
we need to have a
is he
conversation?
worth his spot on the side? Yeah, we can have that chat. Is he? Does he need to be cancelled? I don't know. But yeah, he's slapping him on the back of the head. Shut up, buying Bosies. Everything's good with the world. And and when you're playing for Hong Kong, it's 30 for 5, and you're going to be all out 8 runs later, having conceded 5 more wickets.
Yeah. Hong Kong couldn't play spin in either game. Shadab Khan 4 for 8. Mohammad Nawaz 3 for 5. So 7 for 13 usually does get you on the winning side in most games of under 13s or in the Asia Cup. Third thing, Pez, Pakistan, India, and who? This is the weirdest confected. It's like the structure of the tournament is so odd because, Sri Lanka have just chased the highest total ever in the UAE against Bangladesh. So they're in the other final against Afghanistan, but they don't cross groups yet. So now India and Pakistan play each other again on Sunday, and then the loser of that plays against the winner of the other game, and then so both teams get another crack. So it's not knockout yet, Super Fours. And then the winner of that other game will then play on September 11. Very interesting. Yeah, that's the structure. But, Pez, I know you've watched every board. Now, we've obviously been covering Pakistan, Hong Kong, and not Australia, Zimbabwe in our own backyard. But that's the nature of the game. That's where it's all going. Can anyone do anything? Can anyone do anything except for India and Pakistan, who'll play each other 8 more times in this tournament before the final?
I like that at this point, if you've just joined the grade cricketer and you've not heard of it before, you'd be thinking, why are they covering equally India, Pakistan and Hong Kong? How did Hong Kong get a go in that?
It's HSBC money. I'm sorry.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
Sorry.
Yeah, they're courting us. Yeah. Such a bad joke, isn't it? Like there's just a bank that exists in that country. Not that China calls it a country, but anyway. Afghanistan's been playing well, and they have probably the best T20 player in the world, who can do a load of damage on highly spinning wickets. I think Pakistan could be good value for stuff, but I mean, I want the whole thing to be confected for just bulk India-Pakistan matches because we don't get to see them. And if I could be serious for a moment, because I haven't been at any point in this video, I just like watching India and Pakistan play against each other. And I defer to others' expertise on why they can't play more, but it's fucking cool. They're two very good sides. And, we've watched them both play Hong Kong, and I like the contrast in styles, like India will thoroughly dismantle a minnow, whereas Pakistan will obliterate that minnow and is not a reflection of their geopolitical approaches. It's just how they play cricket on field. And that is part of the allure of the Asia Cup to me. And India and Pakistan playing against each other, the way they deal with lessers.
I understand. Cricketers. Yes. Well, Australia actually sold most of their players to China.
Well, Australia sold most things to China, I think.
Sorry, I meant farms. I'm so confused.
The port of Dun. Hey, and I just noticed again, like in terms of like how you beat a minnow, the way you do it. Like at the end of the game, maybe 7 down, 8 down, Iftikhar took a catch at long on, and he almost looked insulted as he took the ball. Yeah. It was awesome. Yep. And they're the little things that you learn when you get to international cricket. Not that I've ever been there, but they're just little 1%ers that you can do to communicate things that really have no like material impact on the field, but they do psychologically. And I think when I saw Iftikhar took that catch, looking like he was insulted to be on the field with the person who hit it down his throat that badly, it made me think Pakistan's in a good position. Psychologically, they're in the right place. They're in the place they need to be if he took the catch like that.
Hashtag AskTGC brought to you by ACO. Kaushik tweeted this, Pez. He said, Hong Kong champing Virat or India champing Nathan Lyon? Which one is bigger? Please discuss. Now, he sent a screenshot of Virat Kohli's Insta story the other day, and Virat said, thank you, HK Cricket, Hong Kong Cricket. This gesture is truly humbling and very, very sweet. And what Hong Kong have done is they have signed one of their team jerseys with a note saying, Virat, thank you for inspiring a generation. We stand with you. There are many incredible days ahead with strength, with love. Team Hong Kong X. That is fucking alpha. That is fucking alpha. Like, they are trying to creep. Well, first of all, it's a social media play, of course. They've given him a present, hoping that they'll tag him in, so Hong Kong cricket gets boosted numbers. That's obviously a strategic play. Everyone knows that. The X at the end is very interesting.
Was it a lowercase or uppercase?
It was a lowercase X. It was a lowercase X.
Masterful. Masterclass. Yeah. That's a master. That's an alpha masterclass.
We've seen this before. Yeah, that's right.
On the occasion of his 100th T20I, wasn't it, or something like that?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right. Which is the bigger champing. As you read it out to me, I wonder whether, like, Kohli and his people, at any point in the way they engage with that clear social media play from Hong Kong, consider if there's any impact on brand Kohli and China as well. You know, like, I just, you know, and these are the global forces of cricket that we need to.
Yeah. Where do Puma make their shoes? That's an interesting one.
Well, no, but there's sorts of. I'm sure there's crossovers, you know, at some point. And, like, do Kohli's people go, well, don't want to sort of come back too strongly with Hong Kong, you know, just given what's going on.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
A bit of airspace stuff, yeah. Well, this entire show's been entire tiptoe around some pretty serious political issues.
Airspace stuff.
But, you know, we've given it a go from the safety of Melbourne in 2 separate locations over a Zoom call, which VPNs. I can hear. Like, I think there's some wiretapping going on. Oh, it's VPN City trying to watch the Asia Cup in Australia. Don't you worry about that. Thank you very much to Akko. Thank you for you out there for watching this stuff. Hey, India-Pakistan, Mark 2 on Sunday coming at you. We'll be right here reviewing that game. So see you then. Cheers.